A potential cage match between Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg may be far from a joke. Discussions regarding a showdown between the two tech billionaires have advanced, and the details of a possible event are beginning to emerge. The day following Elon Musk's social media challenge to Mark Zuckerberg for a cage match, a text message arrived on Dana White's phone. The sender was none other than Mr. Zuckerberg himself, the CEO of Meta, seeking confirmation of Mr. Musk's seriousness about the fight. Dana White, the president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, responsible for the world's premier mixed martial arts competition held in cage-like rings, immediately reached out to Mr. Musk, who oversees Tesla, Twitter, and SpaceX, and confirmed his willingness to participate. The confirmation was then relayed to Mr. Zuckerberg, who responded on Instagram with the phrase, "Send me location," reminiscent of the catchphrase used by Khabib Nurmagomedov, one of the most renowned athletes in the UFC. According to Mr. White, he has been in separate nightly conversations with both tech billionaires since then, working to organize the showdown. He mentioned that just recently, on Tuesday, he was on the phone with them until the early hours of the morning, stating that they both want to do it. If you believe that a cage fight between two of the wealthiest individuals in the world was merely a social media stunt, it's time to reconsider. In the past 10 days, Mr. White revealed that he, Mr. Musk, and Mr. Zuckerberg, with the help of their respective advisors, have been engaged in behind-the-scenes negotiations and are gradually making progress towards an actual physical confrontation. Although nothing is certain yet, the discussions have begun to shape the overall structure of the event, according to Mr. White and 3 individuals familiar with the matter. According to Mr. White, the proposed fight would be an exhibition match, falling outside the official jurisdiction and rights deals of the UFC. However, Mr. White would assist in producing the event. Both tech leaders have agreed on the inclusion of a charity component, although specific details are still being finalized. The preferred location for the event is Las Vegas, pending approval from the Nevada Athletic Commission. Additionally, Mr. Musk mentioned on Thursday via Twitter that the Roman Coliseum could also be a potential venue. Sources close to Mr. Zuckerberg indicate that his friends and advisors have generally supported the idea of the match. However, others argue that a fight would be a distraction and not the best use of his time. When it comes to Mr. Musk, one individual familiar with him mentioned that despite his disdain for sports and the appearance of lacking regular training discipline, it is difficult to rule out anything with him. Should the matchup between 52-year-old Mr. Musk and 39-year-old Mr. Zuckerberg proceed, it would be a rare spectacle, even in the boastful world of the tech industry. While there have been previous instances of verbal sparring between figures like Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, the tech world has rarely seen true sporting feuds, with the closest examples being among billionaire yachtsmen such as Larry Ellison of Oracle and Hasso Plattner of SAP. However, the prospect of two immensely wealthy tech titans grappling, punching, and kicking in a Las Vegas or Roman arena is beyond anyone's wildest imagination. Meta declined to provide a comment on the matter, and Mr. Musk has not responded to the request for comment. Throughout the years, Mr. Zuckerberg and Mr. Musk have oscillated between being competitors, frenemies, and outright enemies. They have publicly criticized each other on various occasions, covering topics such as Mr. Musk's SpaceX rockets, data privacy scandals at Meta, and more. Most recently, Mr. Zuckerberg tasked a team at Meta to develop a competitor to Mr. Musk's Twitter, known internally as Project 92. If their rivalry were to escalate beyond mere jibes, concerns arise regarding the physical discrepancies between the billionaires, as pointed out by Mr. White of the UFC. Aside from their significant 13-year age difference, Mr. Musk is reportedly at least 70 pounds heavier than Mr. Zuckerberg. In official mixed martial arts contests, athletes are typically matched based on their weight class. "We are dealing with two individuals who have never engaged in professional fighting, and they belong to entirely different weight divisions," acknowledged Mr. White. However, he confidently asserted that despite these challenges, it will be the most monumental fight in the history of combat sports. Mr. Zuckerberg has demonstrated a keen familiarity with the world of UFC. Over the past 18 months, he has undertaken a personal journey, focusing on physical conditioning and immersing himself in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a grappling martial art commonly employed in UFC bouts. In 2021, Mr. Zuckerberg began training in his garage with a group of friends, humorously referring to it as his mini-academy. His interest in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu stems from its emphasis on mental focus and strategic thinking rather than relying solely on raw strength to defeat opponents. To further hone his skills, Mr. Zuckerberg has sought guidance from renowned martial arts experts such as Dave Camarillo, James Terry, and Kai Wu. In May, he even participated incognito in a public martial arts tournament in Redwood City, California, where he emerged victorious, securing gold and silver medals in the competition. Notably, Meta, the company led by Mr. Zuckerberg, previously announced a partnership with the UFC to bring mixed martial arts fights to their virtual reality app, Horizon Worlds. Mr. White, while discussing Mr. Zuckerberg's commitment to the sport, highlighted the seriousness and dedication shown by the Meta CEO. They have engaged in conversations for almost 2 years, with Mr. Zuckerberg consistently displaying a determined and focused demeanor. Reports suggest that Mr. Zuckerberg is in prime fighting condition. He adheres to a strict workout routine, frequently engaging in runs and challenging friends and colleagues to beat his recorded times. Last month, he accomplished a personal record in completing the demanding Murph challenge, which involves a series of pull-ups, push-ups, running several miles, and numerous squats, all while wearing weighted body armor. In contrast, Mr. Musk has publicly mentioned his infrequent exercise habits in an incident where he sustained a back injury during an exhibition with a sumo wrestler, necessitating surgery. While Mr. Musk has claimed training in disciplines like judo, kyokushin, and no-rules street fighting, he has expressed an aversion to losing weight for the potential matchup. Mr. White shared that Mr. Musk's stance was clear: "I'm not going to lose any weight. Are we going to fight or not?" This week, podcaster Lex Fridman shared photos of himself training judo with Mr. Musk. Mr. Fridman, who has also trained jiu-jitsu with Mr. Zuckerberg, did not provide further comment on the matter. However, there appears to be at least one person who does not support the idea of the fight: Mae Musk, Mr. Musk's mother. She recently tweeted, accompanied by 2 frowning emojis, "Don't encourage this match." Thanks for watching.